To you and to F1 fans everywhere, we never meant to create a burger so delicious it could change the course of F1 history.
Oh, piss off!
So yes,
Your
sorry.
cross between the nasty patty and the pretty patty has nothing to do with this race. No, it's because you can't take credit for this. No.
Hold on, I'm not done. So yes, we're sorry. Sorry our burgers slap so hard. Sure, we can take a joke about a curse, but let's be real. We'd never bet against a guy like Oscar Piastri.
A burger with a carrot on it has never slapped.
Yes.
Correct.
Indubitably.
Correct.
And speaking of getting the party started.
For the victory lap, though. They ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door. Ask me if I stress overcome, what for? Train under trees, please pardon my sycamore. Touch burning sands, cross lands, and stormy shore seasons in the year, yeah. Switch gears, we keeping haters in the rear. At the blood, sweat, and tears, and my goal so near. I see my victory so clear. I see my victory so clear. And today, we break through. 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 And today.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 87 of the only podcast in the world that covers all the grit of Formula One and all the iron of American football. It's the Gridiron Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, I am Sean Barie. Joining me along this magical mystery ride into the forays of American football and the Formula One, our two loves, is, of course, the bald behemoth, our NFL.com talent writer, holding down the fort in the land. It's Nick Shook. Wow. Oh, he doesn't have sleeves on today.
I'm wearing a sleeveless
That was very deceiving.
gold gym
It was
hoodie.
very deceiving.
Oh, yeah.
You thought he had sleeves on, too.
Yeah.
Venice, California, Gold's Gym sleeveless hoodie, baby. Circa
just-
like 2016.
I just assumed it's, the week before Thanksgiving. American Thanksgiving, Katie.
Thank
the
you.
real Thanksgiving. And I just assumed it was cold up in Cleveland, so Nick was actually wearing sleeves today. But no, so deceiving. And now we turn things over.
This is so perfect, not to cut you off, even though I just cut you off. I never thought, in what situation would I want to wear a sleeveless hoodie? Like, if you're going sleeveless, it's probably warm outside, right? If you want to wear a hoodie, it's probably cold. Why would you ever want to combine the two? This is why. When it's 41 degrees, light rain, gloomy, and a little chilly inside the home, perfectly snuggled, with the gun still out. That's why you buy a sleeveless hoodie.
Now to the only person on this podcast that's more swole than Nick Shook, our Canadian queen up in Kimberley, British Columbia, Katie Caldwell.
I'd flex, but Nick, I just don't want to embarrass you like I have
I
before
know,
when
I
I
know,
flex on
I
this
know.
show.
I know.
Great to see you guys again. And the Sidney Crosby episode.
Yes, episode 87. There are no other famous athletes that wear 87. I will hear none of it. This is dedicated to the one, the only, number 87, Sidney Crosby.
Sid the Kid.
Sid the Kid. He's 38 years old and he's still Sid the Kid, man. This is episode 87. We got a lot to get into. What was it in the NFL, Nick? 11, thank you. I'm not good with numbers. We got to recap Week 11 in the NFL, and then we are going to recap the Brazilian, or the Sao Paolo Grand Prix in Formula One, and look ahead, because F1 is coming back to the States this weekend in Vegas. If you watched Monday Night Football last night we're recording on Tuesday. So if you watched Monday Night Football this week, it was the Raiders and Cowboys, and there were F1 drivers aplenty in that stadium, in Allegiant Field, or whatever they're calling it now. So we'll talk a little F1, Las Vegas Grand Prix. What?
You called it a stadium, and then you said Allegiant Field, whatever it's called, and I'm pretty sure it's Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah, it's still Acrisure. It's still Heinz to me.
Yeah, it's Heinz Field, but clearly it is a stadium. Like, I don't know what do you want me to say? What do you want? What's the difference between a field and a stadium? A field house, an arena, a gym? Who cares? It's all the same thing. If you'd like to, have some fun with us along this way while we record this podcast, please just chime in on the chat. You can also find us on social media at Gridiron Pod on Instagram, at Gridiron Pod on Insta. You can also email us at thegridironpodcast3. That's the Gridiron Podcast number 3.
Damn
those other two.
popculturereferences@gmail.com. We do love to hear from you. No, Nick, it is not. Oh, who is this? Popper. It's not the Gronk episode.
Why am I catching strays? Yeah, I just clicked on it to show it. My God.
I thought you just put up a lower third. Did Gronk wear 87?
Yeah. Good God. Sean, not very familiar with tight ends wearing 87. Travis Kelce, another one.
And still none of them. Even
the great Browns receiver, Andre with an E, Davis, 87.
Still none of them hold a candle to Sid the Kid.
2 against 1. I agree.
Yeah, Katie's going to back me up on this.
I quit.
100%. 100%. All right, let's get into Week 11 in the NFL. Let's get right into it. It was a fun Sunday, guys, especially that, early window. That was a very, very entertaining Sunday, especially if you watched Thursday Night Football and fell asleep, Monday Night Football, fell asleep. That was a fun afternoon of football. So what's the first game we're going to do, guys? Seahawks-Rams.
Nick, what's that face you're making?
I just can't. He's like, Thursday Night Football, fell asleep. Monday Night Football, fell asleep. I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, I'm not falling asleep during these games, but
you're paid to not fall asleep. I'd hope you're not falling asleep.
Well, people have fallen asleep on the job.
That would be like if my NFL.com talent writer, who is responsible for coming out with a completely uncontroversial quarterback ranking every single week, said, I fall asleep during games, we might have a little bit of,
actually
drama here.
On that
some
topic,
scandal,
before we get into Seahawks-Rams, I would like to share with you one of my favorite new hate messages I've gotten.
This is a weekly occurrence now that we're doing this, a new weekly segment. Hate mail for Nick.
This is from Dapper Dan99, calling you out on Instagram this time. How do I work for NFL.com? And at first I was like, oh, this is one of those messages that you get on LinkedIn. We're like, hey, you guys hiring? And then I thought, wait, it's on Instagram. There's no way. And he continues with, seems like football knowledge is not a prerequisite. Boom. Roasted. Got my ass.
That's it? That's it? That was... Okay.
Yeah, that's
You've gotten meaner, but...
Yeah, we don't want to dip into mine.
You know what? You should just send him a clip from that movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Where George Clooney's like, I'm not a Dapper Dan man. Or what is it? Like, I don't want fuck, God damn it. I'm a Dapper Dan man.
All right, Week 11.
I love this episode already.
I reached deep into my bag of pop culture references for that one, but that's a good movie. You should check it out. Yeah, Week 11 in the NFL, Seahawks-Rams. This one, Katie, as a Seahawks fan, I'm sure had you sweating up until the very end. What a game. It comes down to, a 61-yard field goal attempt with 1 second left for the Seahawks to even be in position to try a 61-yarder with 1 second left was some drama in of itself. We'll let Katie start with this one since she is the resident Seahawks fan.
That was a really good game if you love defense. That was my really big takeaway from that one. And even though Sam Darnold had 4 picks, it's not great. I don't feel bad about them. I don't feel worried about Nick. Don't you give me that look. I'm still a member of the Darnold Hive, but does that mean I accept the good with the bad? Yes. Have we seen him have moments like this before in Minnesota? Yes, we have. What? Just say what you want, Nick. Share your feelings. Don't look at me like that.
Just enjoying you coping and rationalizing. Keep going.
This is not a cope at all. I think this is a very self-aware statement from me. I love their defense. They're still one of the highest powered offense in the league, but they went against a defense that looks like they could win a Super Bowl. Like, the Rams are a legit Super Bowl contender. I still have the Seahawks as one. That was a really good game. Like, I'm sorry, do you want to talk about what the Seahawks defense did to the Rams offense? Because that was the story of the entire game. Both offenses looked very average against 2 really, really, really good defenses. And these offenses look good against other defenses. So I'm not worried. That was a good game. It was a fun game. I wish they hit the field goal.
I like combative Katie. No, you're absolutely right. I think that
after all of that, of you sitting there looking at me in judgment just to agree with me.
No, there's one key difference here, Katie. There's one key difference.
You're rationalizing a little bit. Actually, you're completely right. I agree with you.
One quarterback threw 4 ghastly interceptions, and the other one, I think, he only threw 1. And it's not that this game wasn't great and it wasn't a defensive battle. You are right about all those things. It's just that Sam Darnold, again, failed to come through and kind of self-destructed in a big game. Now, it was still a close game, and he still got them in position to kick that field goal at the end. But as somebody, you are a Seahawks fan, so I just was very excited to hear your take on a quarterback throwing 4 interceptions. And the rest of your entire point is accurate. I was poking the bear because I want to be like, yeah.
Nick,
I've been a member of the Darnold Hive since before he was on the Seahawks. And as a member of the Darnold Hive, I understand that it's not all going to look perfect. And there are moments where it looks like he might have mononucleosis. Like, we don't know what he's doing out there. There are moments where it looks like he's seeing ghosts. But the ceiling is way higher. The floor isn't where I'd want it to be. He still makes all these wild mistakes. But I look at that offense, and like their offensive line looks good, and I was one of the people standing in my living room going, "Not crazy people."
Yes.
Because he was such a big part of it.
You took my joke. You cut my legs out from under me because I was going to say, Nick, were those turnovers ghastly or were they ghostly?
Ghostly. No, he's still it's still Sam Darnold. Like, I understand that his floor hasn't raised that much, but I think his ceiling is so much higher. I am still a member of the Darnold Hive, but I just feel like I'm a self-aware one, and I always have been. I've always understood the shortcomings that he has, which happens to be being really bad in really important moments. That's fine, right?
Speaking of being aware, I would have liked Sam Darnold to be a little bit more aware on that final drive, knowing that they had about 2 minutes left, one timeout, which they saved for the perfect moment. I was wondering, when are they going to use this timeout? They saved it for the perfect moment. But at one point, they were slow to get to the line. They wasted about 10 seconds coming off the clock in the final minute. And I'm just thinking, get up to the line and spike it. Like, give yourself a chance. And if you could have had those 10 seconds back, I mean, now we're talking about maybe a 51-yarder, a 45-yarder, something a little bit more manageable than 61 yards, which Myers just kind of didn't. He missed it, and then he just didn't have the leg for it as well.
Let's not overlook the fact that they needed a ticky-tack pass interference call to really end up in that situation to begin with. But yeah, I mean, you're not wrong about that. I feel like you're kind of splitting hairs at that point, given that it's like such a high-pressure situation. You can split hairs on more than your head, Sean. As you can see, and as you can see, yeah, it's everywhere else. It's just not up here.
Bringing out the taco meat, eh?
Yeah, a little bit of let's just get that deep beef, let the taco meat out.
And this is why you come to the Gridiron Podcast for scintillating NFL takes from Nick Shook.
And chest hair. All right.
That was the scintillating part of it. All right, great game from the Seahawks and Rams. Moving on, let's go to Lions-Eagles. Sunday Night Football, matchup of two contenders who everyone kind of expects to be fighting it out for the NFC crown. Eagles, once again. So the thing that kind of stood out to me in this game is just kind of how unremarkable both teams looked. I will say, like, the Eagles' defense is very impressive. They made Jared Goff look like he didn't know what he was doing. They made him look like L.A. Rams Jared Goff. But other than that, the Cowboys couldn't get anything going on offense. The Eagles' defense was really good on Sunday night. And also, I mean, the Eagles' offense kind of just seemed like it's still doesn't have the answers to the questions it's been searching for all season.
Katie, did you just say what I thought you said? You said the Cowboys?
The Cowboys?
Did I say Cowboys?
Did Sean slip up?
I swear, there's only caffeine in this energy drink, I swear. I'm sorry.
I know, for once there's actually coffee in my coffee mug. That is not usually the case when we are recording this. Yeah, I agree, Sean. My big takeaway was the Eagles' defensive line just made Jared Goff, like, he couldn't get anything going. The Eagles' defense is so good. The moves they made at the deadline, we're seeing that they've helped, but their offense, I'm so tired of watching the Philadelphia Eagles. Their offense is so frustrating to me. I've said this in the group chat to you guys.
Yeah, what did you say in the group chat again?
I have fired the Eagles into the sun. I'm so tired of talking about them. I'm so tired of watching them. Their defense is great. Their offense, how can you have that many pieces and this is what your offense looks like? And also, I'm so tired of the tush push. Like, heading into the season, I was one of those people that are like, oh, if you don't like the tush push, why don't you get better at defending it? Now I just want people to see, I want them to run a play. Give it to Saquon. Have Jalen Hurts run it. Have some sort of design play. I'm so tired of the tush push. I'm so tired of watching the Eagles play offense. That's it. That's all for me.
They did actually run a play in a short yard situation that wasn't a tush push, and I don't think it worked. But
because they have no practice at it.
Yeah, they're spending all that time in the tush push. No,
so they're pushing tushes.
I think that I agree with you, Katie, and it's funny because you're sitting in the group chat and you're just like, I'm so tired of talking about this team. I hate to say it, you're gonna have to keep talking about them because they're not going anywhere. Like,
no.
I know.
That defense might be better than it was last year, but we're gonna keep talking about them because there's gonna be so much drama with this team. And I think that the reason that there's so much drama is at least one guy, AJ Brown, I believe, hates their offensive coordinator. Like, truly hates their offensive coordinator. Like, when he talked about the whole Twitch fiasco last week, which shout out to Twitch, you can watch us on Twitch live. Papa Popper's out there. Godsend's out there right now. Appreciate both of you being out there watching us live on Twitch. You can catch us on Twitch and YouTube. But yes, AJ Brown playing Madden on Twitch and saying that it is quote unquote a shit show. Not wrong. And when he responded to, being basically caught in 4K criticizing his team, between the lines, if you read between the lines of his comments, I was like, oh, he hates Kevin Patullo. And I think this whole offense is very much held back by Kevin Patullo. And I don't think they're going to make a change. So, again, this is going to be what they're going to be unless Nick Sirianni were to, take over full control of the offense, which I don't think they would do that unless it got to a dire situation. Cowboys game, if you can't put up points against Cowboys and the Cowboys can, then that might be a bit of a difference. Well, your defense is very good. I think you're going to continue hearing the same things, which is that the Eagles keep winning. Their offense keeps looking bad. Their defense is amazing, and A.J. Brown's still upset. And
is
the
this
last
the most
time
boring good team in the NFL, Nick?
No, because this is who they were last year until about week 14.
Their offense wasn't this bad last year.
This offense is almost comatose.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. We went through the whole A.J. Brown is tired of not getting the ball. I'm looking at scores from last season around this time. Okay, they put up 37 points in week 12.
So next one, bad example, 37 points.
24 points in week 13.
Bad example.
Let's see, where else are they here? 26 points. And then let's see what they do. Week 14,
their offense
22
was not
points.
This bad last year, Nick. That's the point we're trying to make.
Eagles games were fun to watch last year. Think about this week and then last week, the game against the Packers was painful too. Eagles Lions should be one. Oh, it should be one of the best games to watch on the season, and both those games I couldn't wait for them to be over.
Yeah, but you know what? If you love defensive battles, then you love that game on Sunday night, and the Lions certainly didn't, because I've never seen Jared Goff look that lost. Maybe in his worst Rams days, maybe in the Super Bowl when they lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl, but it's been a long time since they've looked like that. Which I think just says that's why the Eagles are going to be, one of the top NFC contenders, even if we don't like the way it looks.
Totally agree. Let's move on. Chiefs Broncos, guys. Chiefs are the Kansas City Chiefs. The Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes led Kansas City Chiefs are 5-5. They are on the outside of the playoff picture, looking in. This is uncharted territory, I would say, for this team, and yet I still don't want to put them to bed, because I don't believe that they're out of it until I see someone else lifting the Lombardi Trophy. I cannot put them out of my mind because it's Patrick Mahomes. It's the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's still mid-November. I think a lot of people forget that. A lot can change before now in the playoffs.
We've cleared Canadian Thanksgiving, but we haven't cleared American Thanksgiving.
No.
So,
and if
there
hasn't been a 7 seed to win a Super Bowl yet since they added the 7 seed a couple of years ago, the Chiefs could be that 7 seed.
So I had a come to Jesus moment with myself last night. Well,
preach, brother.
3:30 in the morning. God, that could be wrong if I don't have the context here. I could not sleep. I tried to get to bed at a semi-decent hour and could not sleep. So about 3 a.m., I'm laying in bed wide awake, and I decide, you know what? I'm going to continue watching the games I haven't watched yet because I'm awake, so I might as well. So I put on Texans-Titans. And it occurs to me in the third quarter.
Right to sleep.
That one made me sleepy. After I watched that one, I actually did successfully fall asleep. Third quarter, I looked down at the score bug, and I'm like, Texans are 4-5. I know they win this game. That means they're 5-5. That's the same record as the Chiefs. Why do I think of them so differently than the Chiefs when they have the same record? And it's because they're the Kansas City Chiefs. But I'll tell you what, man, they had a rough rough game against the Broncos. And I know Godsend's in the chat right now, and he's a big Broncos fan, so he's going to enjoy this next segment. The Denver Broncos put the freaking clamps on the Kansas City Chiefs defensively in that game. I haven't seen Patrick Mahomes struggle that hard to find somebody open, and not to mention the fact the Chiefs can't really run the ball, which has been the case for a while, in a long time. It didn't make me concerned, but it made me think, I think that we are correct in saying that until they're out, I'm going to believe in them, but at the same time, we can accurately lower their ceiling when facing a defense like this. Because they did not look superhuman. They could not overcome what Denver was throwing at them, and that's after getting some opportunities, getting some downfield pass interference calls on Riley Moss and, whatnot, and they end up with 19 points and lose a close game. I could see that happening again against another team, maybe the Buffalo Bills. Not as good of a defense, but they got some players playing really good football right now, Cole Bishop being one of them. For the first time, I can't believe I'm doing this because I pushed back against this. The Chiefs are vulnerable. They will make the playoffs, but they are vulnerable in the right matchup.
I like that. And then you had to add that they'll still make the playoffs. Come on, Nick. Let's at least bring some chaos.
I'm not an idiot here. Yeah. Come on. Some might think I am, and I might agree sometimes, but in this case, no.
Yeah, my big takeaway from that one, we've talked about the Broncos' defense the whole season, and obviously they look really, really elite. Their offense looked really good. I thought that was one of Bo Nix's best games.
For the first time in a while.
Yeah, and if I'm the Chiefs, I don't want that to be against my defense, where their offense finally wakes up. It looks like it's getting closer to where their defense is. I love this Broncos team.
9-2, they look like one of the best teams in the league. Certainly the best defense in the league.
I wouldn't go that far just because I still don't have a lot of trust on their offense like I do with their defense.
There it is. Yeah.
I said looks like one of the best teams in the league.
No, but I could push back against that. Just like we could push back against the Eagles looking like one of the best teams. They both have good defenses. They both have very inconsistent offenses.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Broncos did come through in a big matchup. I also think that this is a game that the Chiefs are going to look back at and see some very correctable moments. There was a pass. Bo Nix threw a freaking laser to Cortland Sutton on a deep dig first half, I think. And it was right after Brian Cook had made a really nice play. And it was over Cook. And as the ball went over his head and he started to turn, basically it was a levels concept. So you got a guy running a shorter crossing route and a deeper one. And Cook takes the bait on the shorter one. And as the ball goes over his head to Sutton, Cook looks back and goes, like, you can see his body language. He starts hitting his own helmet and does one of those, like, frustrated toddler tantrum body language types of things where he's like, damn it, I just got. And I know I just got. And I think that the Chiefs, in many situations in this game, got by Sean Payton's team. That could change in the playoffs.
There were a couple of throws from Bo Nix, too, that made me kind of go, ooh.
That's the key, though. Okay. He's been so inconsistent. This is one of his most consistent games. And that's super encouraging, especially against an opponent of that caliber, because we just haven't seen that from the Broncos this year.
That's what you want to see out of your young quarterback. But
I know Godsend was all fired up about it after the game because he and many Broncos fans know damn well that Bo Nix has been kind of shitty.
We could put
He's been inconsistent to kind of shitty.
Yeah, except for Sunday. He was good Sunday.
No, he was
when
great
it looked
Sunday.
bad, it did look really, really bad. And it's not like they have it's not like they have a receiver room like the Cowboys or the Bengals. But also, did we know that J.K. Dobbins wasn't going to be in that game the week leading up to that?
I gotta be honest with you.
It felt like that was like why isn't he in this game? And then they still did it without him.
I wonder, they finally don't have him in there and trying to lean on him too much, and suddenly their offense starts to work. Maybe they should just use him as a compliment and not the basis of their offense.
I thought Harvey played well.
He did. I think Harvey's good. I just think that too much of a focus on your running game, I think, has kind of short-circuited some of this offense. Speaking of the Broncos, Troy Meeker, diehard listener, hops into the chat and calls this 87 the Ed McCaffrey episode. Father of Christian and Luke McCaffrey. He wore 87 with the Broncos.
Troy, thank you. We appreciate your submission, but this is the Sidney Crosby episode. There will be no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I'm very open to the Ed McCaffrey episode, at least in this segment of the show. So, dissenter right here.
Again,
Still
you
two
are
against
the
one.
minority vote. I'm sorry, Nick.
Yes, I'm sorry, Nick.
That's okay.
Sit there and be wrong.
Zig when they
on.
zag.
Got one more game to talk about. Another exciting one in the early window. Bills and Bucs. Bucs go up to Buffalo. It's a windy, rainy, snowy day in Orchard Park, New York. And Josh Allen scores 3 touchdowns. 6 or six touchdowns, excuse me. 3 through the air,
not good
3
with
on the
numbers.
ground.
3 on the ground.
Exactly. Breaks Peyton Manning's record for most touchdowns scored by a quarterback before turning 30, and ties Cam Newton's record for most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback at 73. And the Bills win 44-32 over this Bucs team that, look, Todd Bowles told us a couple of weeks ago, it was coming off the bye week. Someone asked him about, measuring up against all these good teams they're playing. The Eagles, the Bills, the Lions, the Rams, the Patriots, the list goes on and on. Bucs have had a tough schedule, and he said, oh, well, you know what, kind of jokingly, we beat the Lions and Eagles last year, and that didn't do anything for us, so maybe losing to them this time around will do something for us. Okay, I get it, tongue-in-cheek kind of answer, but at the same time, if you want to be considered a contender, you do have to beat these contending teams at some point, and the Bucs, aside from the Seahawks, which that was probably their best win this season, and the Niners, they really haven't fared too well against these playoff teams they come up against.
Yeah, I mean, how did you feel when they finished that game, Sean? Because you're somebody who covers this team, and I mean, as much as they battled, they ended up losing by 12 points.
This defense is such a conundrum to me because one week it can just be locked down and have all of the answers, and then the next it comes up against a guy like Josh Allen, but they put an outside linebacker to cover a wide receiver deep down the field. It's confusing to me at some points, but I mean Josh Allen, he's a different animal, and I think they kind of ran into a buzzsaw with him, but the offense did what it needed to, which was not the case against the Patriots. And once again, against the Patriots, the defense was the problem, giving up huge chunk plays, especially in the run game. Right now the defense is the one looking for answers. And the defense is the healthier side of the ball, except you can tell how much the Bucs defense really is missing Kalijah Kancey and Hassan Reddick right now.
Yeah.
But did they do what they needed to? Because they picked off Josh Allen twice, and they got a total of 3 points out of it in a game in which he scored 6 touchdowns. Did they really do what they needed to? Did they give their defense, throw them just a little bit of a bone?
I think they did enough, honestly. I mean, your defense goes out. Your defense takes the field, and you're not supposed to give up 44 points to anybody, even if it is the reigning NFL MVP. But I'm just saying, yes, there were some problems on offense. There are going to be, but at the same time, I think that the defense, had it played better, the Bucs could have won that game easily.
There were also 9 lead changes. It's not like the
10.
Bills put 10 lead changes. It's not like the Bills put up 44 and then there was a bunch of garbage time points for the Bucs. It definitely was back and forth almost the whole game.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that.
Go ahead.
I said it kind of reminded me of that Seattle game, Katie.
Yeah, until the second portion of the fourth quarter. Yeah, I mean, at 13:38 left in the fourth, they're up by 1. And then... then you have 2 Josh Allen touchdown runs that kind of finishes it off. It almost felt like the Bucs kind of ran out of steam. Yeah. Which is not encouraging when you think that. I mean, I don't know how many offenses. The Bills are a tough read for me, and it's.
Yeah,
I say this because when you're trying to compare, the transitive property doesn't work in the NFL. We know that, but at the same time, when you try to compare them against their best opponents, the best teams that they've played. I have a hard time figuring out exactly where the Bills are because they are so inconsistent week to week. But when they're at their best offensively, they can produce these explosive plays. They can throw a little swing pass to Ty Johnson. He takes it down the sideline for a touchdown. They can have Josh Allen run for 3 rushing scores. But it's hard for me to treat I can't identify them as a measuring stick. Are they a yardstick? Are they a ruler? Are they a tape measure? I don't know where they are in terms of how you compare the Buccaneers against this. So, in this particular game, the Buccaneers defense doesn't get the stops. But is this, a good judgment of who the Buccaneers are? I don't know.
And the Bills, you're right. This felt like the game where they handed Josh the keys and went, just go out there and do it all, which was not going to be sustainable for 17 weeks and then the playoffs. But, the whole
really?
Keon Coleman situation
I feel we haven't seen that before. I feel like that's a new, you know what I mean? I think he can do it all.
But I mean,
no,
with every season as you get older, you can't have him be the entire offense. And it did look different this time. Like, their receivers were different. Like, they brought up Gabe Davis from the practice squad. And then even just, like, how they were utilizing the players. Like, James Cook and then Ty Johnson were more in the passing game this time. Like, their
and a quiet day for James Cook on the ground. Like,
exactly.
13 for 48 or something like that. 16 for 48. Like, that's not a James Cook game according to this season. Anyway.
Right. And I just don't think that offense is replicable against other defenses. The way that the game script went this time, you can't scheme for that against every team. So I'm with you. I still don't really know what they are. They feel very matchup dependent to me. But their offense was fun, but Josh Allen can't always get 6 touchdowns himself. Like,
I feel the same way about the Bucs coming out of this game too, though, because, like, man, this team was constructed to contend for a Super Bowl, but this team was, when constructed, had Mike Evans, had Chris Godwin, had Bucky Irving, had Hassan Reddick, had Kalijah Kancey, but everyone's banged up. You can't use it as an excuse. But, man, I would love to see a healthy Buccaneers team go up against the Lions, the Rams. Yeah. And we're just not going to get that unless they make a deep playoff run. Mike Evans is not coming back through those doors. Chris Godwin might come back this week. Bucky Irving might come back this week. That might help. But then again, the offense, I mean, even look at Sean Tucker. He had himself a day against the Bills, and that'll be the one time we really call his name this year. It happened last year, too. He has a breakout game, wins NFC Offensive Player of the Week, and it's like, hey, Sean Tucker. Nope, okay, that's right back to obscurity. But
it's one of those things where you catch a team by surprise with a player like him. But you make a great point. And it's like, if you look at their schedule, you try to evaluate who they are as a team. Right now, it's difficult because they are so hurt. Like, they desperately need Bucky Irving back.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, if you think back to this game, that's kind of how you can explain why they lost. They're so banged up. It's like that's all they had, and they got the most out of it. Like, Emeka Egbuka being the one and nobody else really presenting a threat in the passing game is starting to show, because he's just not having the same success he had before, because everybody knows that's where Baker is looking. And I think they've had a hard time adjusting. When you lose a guy like Bucky Irving as well, that makes it difficult too. So maybe the ceiling is just lowered because they're so banged up. If you look at their schedule in total and you see the teams that they played that are legitimate playoff teams, I'm not really going to throw Houston in there at this point, but let's say Eagles, Seahawks, Niners, Lions, Patriots, Bills. They've beaten 2 of those 6 teams.
Yeah.
Their 4 losses have all come to teams that we expect to be in the playoffs. So they've got quality losses. It's just we don't know who the hell they are. I think it's going to be another team that's going to get to wild card weekend, and we're going to be like, they could win, but I don't think that they're going to win necessarily.
I tweeted this out after the loss, too, and this was before Sunday Night Football, so the line has kind of changed a little bit, but the combined winning percentage of the teams they have beaten this year, now again, they have played New Orleans and the Jets, is something like 423, and then the combined winning percentage of the teams they have lost to this year is like 736 or something like that. Could change slightly because the Lions lost and the Eagles won, but at the same time,
tough schedule.
That just shows you that, but then again, they had a horrid first half against the Eagles, and then comes storming back, and then it's a late fumble, kind of, by Bucky Irving. When his wrist hit the ground, he fumbled it, and no one knew if the wrist was part of your forearm or not or whatever. But, I mean, it's those kind of moments where it's like they were right there. They just had such a horrible first half against the Eagles that kind of doomed them, that they were fighting from behind. Same with the Lions. They could never get anything going against the Lions, really. But it's like those moments where it's like you coulda, shoulda, woulda. Maybe, and I mean, looking at their schedule ahead, and I don't want to talk about the Bucs too much more, but they got the Rams this week coming up on Sunday Night Football. That's going to be a really tough game for them. But after that, they get the Panthers twice, who look better, right? Like, they won this week against... Yeah, they're frisky kitties. Exactly. Bryce Young, 448 passing yards, breaks Cam Newton's single-game record with the Panthers. So they got the Panthers twice, but we don't know exactly what they are. They've got the Dolphins, who are playing better but are still the Dolphins, and then they've got the Atlanta Falcons, who look like they're going to be without Michael Penix Jr. for the rest of the season. So, and then they've got the New Orleans Saints one more time. So the schedule gets significantly easier. All they have to do is win their division games, and they will be in the playoffs. What that team looks like in the playoffs depends on how quickly they can get guys like Bucky Irving, Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans back.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, they lose the Rams next week and they're 6-5. They could go undefeated the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And end up 11. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Math. Yeah.
11-5.
Right? 11-5? No, that would be 16 games.
12-5.
12-5. Yeah. See, math hard. Math is hard. Yeah, I agree. Before we move out of the NFL, because that was our last game, right? I do want to bring up the whole Shedeur thing, because we talked about it on the show before. He came in halftime of the Browns game. The Browns had a lead over the Ravens. Ravens tried their best to give the Browns a game in the first half, and Shedeur was not good. He finished 4 of 16. His passer rating was absolutely horrible, which passer rating is a bit of an outdated metric, but still, it was really bad. And as
it
I
was the third worst passer rating for a rookie quarterback's debut in NFL history.
13.5 was the number, by the way. 4 of 16 for 47 yards and a terrible interception, one of the worst you're going to see in the NFL this year. And I think it's important to state 2 things here, because I feel as though we want to try to get ahead of the discourse, the conspiracy, and everything else. But from my perspective, I just hit the wrong button and it just put the Price is Right sound in my ears, and that scared the hell out of me. No, it was the fail horn. I had it as a bookmark from 10 years ago. I used to play it really loudly in the newsroom when something bad would happen. I'd just turn up the sound of my computer in the newsroom in LA and just play it. People would laugh. It's still in my bookmarks bar. God, that scared the piss out of me. 2 things can be true about Shedeur Sanders and his performance. He holds onto the football too long. He takes forever to make a decision. Not good under pressure, and not mobile enough to extend plays to justify his average time to throw, which was over 3 seconds in this game. And also, he was thrown into a game at halftime as a rookie, and most rookies that are thrown into a game in that situation struggle. I think about Tyler Shook coming in for Spencer Rattler. He had a rough time before he got a full week to prepare and had more success. I think it was against the Panthers. Having said that, I don't think that like the whole idea of why don't you prepare him with the starters and everything, that this conspiracy sounding thing that's gone around the Cleveland media this week is valid. You didn't prepare him as the starter because you didn't intend to start him. You're still getting the other rookie ready to start, and then suddenly you have to go to plan B. Okay, yeah, we didn't split reps between them. We're still trying to help one guy develop. I don't know if it's going to be any better, but to continue with this notion of, well, they're just putting him in such a bad spot, I think is just continues to be inaccurate. And so ultimately I'll say this. If he gets the ball out on time, he'd be better. That's the best thing Dylan Gabriel did. Neither of them are the Browns quarterback of the future. And so as we watch Shedeur and we watch the Browns going forward, just keep that in mind. That's all I want to say.
Good thing they drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks this year. Good work.
I just appreciate how rational and cool-headed everyone was about Shedeur Sanders' first NFL action. I mean, everyone was really calm, cool, collected.
Very normal.
Nobody overreacted about any of this at all. And I appreciate that about football fans, really. They are a level-headed bunch, especially when it comes to Shedeur Sanders.
Yes, they are. And that is where we can leave
sarcasm. All right, let's shift gears. We're going to talk about Formula One now, because just had the week off, coming off the Sao Paolo Grand Prix, and we're headed to Vegas, baby. Vegas. Let's quickly recap the Brazilian Grand Prix. It was a sprint weekend, which we know Katie loves sprint races so much. The penultimate sprint race of the season. It was a Lando Norris sweep in Brazil. He was fastest in free practice, sprint pole, sprint win, GP pole, GP win. After that win, let me check the numbers here in the pod rundown. Let's see, Lando Norris, after a clean sweep in the weekend, he is now your leader in the World Drivers' Championship with 390 points over Oscar Piastri's 366. Oscar had a DNF in the sprint race, came home 5th in the Grand Prix after he was handed a 10-second penalty for causing a collision on the opening laps. And then Max Verstappen, just 25 points behind Oscar Piastri. So it's Lando Norris 390, 24 points behind him is Oscar Piastri, and then 25 points behind behind Oscar Piastri is Max Verstappen, who, guys, last year he won in Brazil coming from P17, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, he can never do anything like that again."
Try from the pit
He almost
lane.
did. He was literally like, "Okay, bet." He started in the pit lane this time in Brazil and came home P3, almost P2 if he had another lap to gain on Kimi Antonelli, who came home in second place. Great race by Max Verstappen, who just continues to make this final leg of the season in the Drivers' Championship really, really interesting. But now it is Lando Norris over Max Verstappen in third place by 49 points with 3 races to go and 1 sprint race, and I know you are singing Max Verstappen in your head.
Max Verstappen. Dun, 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 dun. Max Verstappen. I'm sorry. I know that's not the story of the season overall, but wow.
So catchy.
It's a pretty big part of the story still. The fact that this is a race.
Yes.
What
it's
a
like
drive.
It's like the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't want to put him to bed until I know that either Lando or Oscar is holding the trophy at the end of the season. Like that's it. That is it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
Hell yeah, brother. There is, guys. I will say there is a scenario though. I mean, we could go into the final race of the season at where, Katie?
Yes, Marina.
Exactly. We could go into Abu Dhabi with 3 drivers up for the championship. Or, if Lando continues on this current pace that he's on, it could be decided by the penultimate race, honestly. I think there's something like 87 or 97 points left. And it's still a close race, but Lando has back-to-back wins. He has a sprint win. If he wins this week in Las Vegas, that's going to put more pressure on it. What were your guys' thoughts on Brazil?
Well, okay, so this is where I'm going to turn to the chat. I can't get this to show on the screen, but I'm monitoring our Twitch chat outside of what we use. And Logan is here. Hello, Logan.
Hi,
he
Logan.
said, I am seated for Katie and Nick's apology for the year of Lando hate. So without further ado, Katie, take it away.
I wasn't even prepared for this. Oh my god. Logan, you were very right to call me out for that, because this was one of those weekends where I sat back and went like, oh, this is what it looks like when it all comes together. And this is what it looks like when you actually meet the expectations that are so high that have been put on you and that you've put on yourself. No, that's a very fair comment. That was one of those weekends, and this is one of those stretches that it does become harder to remain in that corner. And that's where, Nick and I will always be honest, we're movers and shakers, we're adaptable, we're allowed to change our visions as more information is presented to us. But Lando is looking way better, and I do trust him more as I watch him. Do I trust him fully? No, because I still think there's a chance those two can run into each other at any given time, and there's always a chance that McLaren will keep losing to itself. But do I trust Lando more? Absolutely. Nick?
Yeah, I'm so glad that Sean got up from, if you're watching on YouTube, you saw it live. Sean got up from his chair right when we were starting to give Lando his flowers. I was hoping that he wouldn't come back until we were done with this segment entirely. Sean, the question was, the comment in the chat was from Logan, who said he was seated for Katie and me admitting to perhaps how wrong we were after a year of Lando hate. And Katie is absolutely right. Also, shout out to Katie for calling me a mover and shaker. But if we're going to move and shake together, we're going to do it arm in arm, because we already went to this corner together. We're going to come out together, and we're not out yet.
We are not out yet.
No, there is still a high chance that an increasingly desperate Oscar Piastri makes another desperate move like he did at Brazil, but instead of knocking out a different driver, he knocks out his own teammate, and that'll open the door for chaos. And we, as champions of chaos on this show, would love nothing more than for that to happen. Which, by the way, you know what? Stay on the sideline, Sean. Let's move over to Oscar Piastri taking the 10-second penalty, because we need to talk about... No, Sean's not going to enjoy this yet, because it's not done yet. And I'm not letting him enjoy this until it's done. Okay? We're not doing that right now.
Hold on. I wasn't trying
dictator.
to take a... Guys, I literally got up to plug my computer in because it was almost dead. excuse me.
No, it has nothing to do with that. I just don't want you to revel. I don't want you to revel in Lando's success.
The job's not done yet. The job is literally not done yet. There's still 3 races and a sprint
left. Yeah, but I see the twinkle in your eye. I know what you want to do.
No, I will say, the last 2 weeks, the last 2 races, this is, I think, the best Lando Norris has ever driven. He looks calm. He looks just in control of his car, and it looks like he's kind of taking control of his own season right now. He looks like a driver possessed that can change from week to week, track to track. We all know that. I'm enjoying it, yes, but the job's not done. Jeez, I'm not
Okay, all right. Yeah, and your time, I'm reclaiming my time from you, Chairman. Let's move to the 10-second penalty, because I think that was complete.
From Ohio yield for a question.
Does that make me the speaker?
Yes.
I love that for me.
The 10-second penalty on Oscar Piastri was complete and utter bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It was.
That was a racing incident, man.
He had his front axle in front of the rear axle. He had every right to that corner that the next driver did. It was a racing incident. And for them to come down that hard on him felt like a little bit of FIA meddling, Sean.
No, Michael.
The one who
Nick.
champions the conspiracy theory, now
Nick.
that it benefits his driver, is suddenly going to push back against it?
No, Nick, that's ludicrous. The FIA, come on, the Sweet Baby FIA would never meddle in a driver's championship. Ever, Nick. They would never
The
do
Sweet
that.
Baby Angel FIA would never.
They would never. Nick, how dare you insinuate the Sweet Baby FIA would ever meddle in a driver's championship?
No,
And
Sean, that is
potentially
so not
manufacture
right.
one. Yeah, no, that was way too harsh of a penalty. I mean, it was such a racing incident. What were they, like 3 wide? I mean, no, that was
10 seconds
was
was
complete
wild.
BS. That was BS, honestly.
Yep.
Okay, all right, cool. We can go back to the Lando love for just a second, because now I can finally get Logan's comments to show up on the screen. He said, the Lando starts have been stunning, his biggest improvement, IMO. Well, we did make a lot of the fact that he sucked on lap 1. And he doesn't really suck lately on lap 1, which is...
No, he does not.
That is the difference.
I still do need to see more. I'll be honest. I have been impressed. I need to see more. If he wins it, then all of this the whole conversation changes. But I just need to see it happen first.
It's also been kind of... we haven't had that moment where they're going to collide, Oscar and Lando, yet, because Oscar hasn't started P2 behind Lando for a little bit. He's been kind of further back. Now, in Austin, they were running 1-2 in the race, but at the same time, it didn't look like they were ever going to come together, unlike what's happened on some starts before, where Oscar has had some pretty punchy passes on Lando, or where Lando had a really, aggressive pass at Azerbaijan this year. So they've, touched wheels, banged wheels a little bit. There was Canada, obviously, but they haven't been lined up 1-2 in a race down the stretch here. And I think that is going to be the moment where everyone's going to kind of be like on the edge of their seat, looking and like holding their breath, especially if you're Zach Brown.
I don't know what is going on with Oscar lately. McLaren just posted a video. I think he was like reading a sponsor or something. Did you guys see it?
Yes.
I'm like, is this poor man being held by gunpoint right now? Like,
wasn't he wishing Lando a happy birthday too? Like, wasn't it like a happy birthday, Lando Norris?
Oh, it might have been a different one that I saw. But if you're sad in a happy birthday message, oh no.
Well, this is interesting, Katie, because Oscar has, since the summer break, he has just not really had any, like, his last podium was in Italy, was in Monza. Like, that's insane to me. That is insane to me. It also coincides with a little marketing deal? Yeah, marketing deal that Oscar signed. If you didn't know, Oscar signed a marketing deal with a fast food chain called Grilled back in his native homeland of Australia. They created the OP81 burger. Let me just read you the description of the Oscar Piastri 81 burger. And I'm looking at a picture of it, too. It looks wonderful. A grass-fed, free-range beef patty, okay, on a charcoal bun. It's black, if you didn't know, with orange sesame seeds for McLaren, supercharged OP chipotle mayo, crispy bacon, aged cheddar, so we're continuing with the, black and orange theme, shredded carrot, lettuce, and Spanish onion. And since this burger has come out, Oscar Piastri has not appeared on the podium, has not gotten a win.
In fact, the promotion...
They had to change the terms of the burger deal.
Yes, because you got a free burger anytime you ordered this OP81 burger. You could get a free burger when he got on the podium. So now they've had to change it to anytime he finishes a race.
Which is the lowest bar possible.
Right. The lowest bar is just at any point he just needs to cross the finish line with that car.
Not even in the points.
I assume Lance Stroll has an agreement somewhere in Montreal for a free burger if he just finishes a race.
Free Poutin.
That's a greater achievement.
Yeah, that is a way greater achievement.
So the restaurant Grilled had to come out with an apology, heavy on the air quotes there, because they're like, let me read it to you, because they basically acknowledged that hey, for everyone that thinks there's a curse, here's the statement. To everyone who believes in the curse, we'd like to apologize. I'd read this in an Australian accent, but I can't. I can only say nar. To you and to F1 fans everywhere, we never meant to create a burger so delicious it could change the course of F1 history.
Oh, piss off!
So yes,
your
sorry.
cross between the nasty patty and the pretty patty has nothing to do with this race. No, it's because you can't take credit for this. No.
Hold on, I'm not done. So yes, we're sorry. Sorry our burgers slap so hard. Sure, we can take a joke about a curse, but let's be real. We'd never bet against a guy like Oscar Piastri. He's our hometown, and they misspelled our, it's out. He's our hometown Aussie hero, and will always be in his corner. Today, tomorrow, and forever, we've got your back, Oscar. Team Grilled.
A burger with a carrot on it has never slapped.
Yes.
Correct.
Indubitably.
Correct. Shredded carrot on my burger.
Sorry, our burger's so good our driver stinks now. Like, what? Where is the logic in that?
There is none. There's no... Because it's not like you could... Like, what is the thinking? Like, oh, too many people bought it and then there wasn't enough for it to go around if he gets on the... Like, there is no logic. There's no connection between those two items.
It's like when the pretty patties turned everybody the color of their pretty patty. Like, you're just paying for the repercussions of your supposedly very tasty burger that looks gross. It honestly looks like food. It looks like something my niece would have made in her pretend kitchen 6 years ago when she was still doing that. God, I'm old.
I think Burger King came out with like a spooky Whopper like during Halloween one year, and like the bun was like green, and like the
Nasty
cheese was
patty.
black, and people were like, "Yeah, it doesn't look great coming out or going in."
Oh,
and I
God.
think this burger kind of reminds me of that. It has orange sesame seeds and a black bun and shredded carrot. Like, guys, there's enough orange on the burger. You already have cheese and orange sesame seeds. Now, let's
add carrots.
Let's put some carrot on it, because that's what people want on their burger. Carrot. You know what? By putting carrot on a burger, you've doomed Oscar's season. You really have.
The best part, and I don't
This
know
might
if I
really
can
be
do
on
this.
Grilled.
Hold on, let me share this.
I love
have
seeing
to share
Grilled
this.
be grilled. They have earned this.
The best part is Oscar, notoriously stoic in demeanor, pointing, smiling with this black bunned burger in his hand. Enjoy. Like, what the hell? You don't believe that's good. I see the lie in your eyes.
Also, he's been really yassified in this photo.
Yes.
He has.
He doesn't even look like that. What did they do to his face?
He's definitely not holding a burger. He definitely
he's
is just
totally
posing
just doing this.
with his hand, and they're like, we'll superimpose it later.
This looks like what they did to the photo of JD Vance. You know the one I'm talking about.
I think this was created by AI. I think the burger and this photo were created by AI. 100%.
And the response to the curse, evidently, because it makes no logical sense. My God.
I want some hard-hitting journalists out in Las Vegas this week to ask the question whether or not he blames his collapse this second half of the season on this burger. Because
Fuck-ass carrot burger.
since Zandvoort, the race after the summer break, head-to-head, in quality, races, sprints, Lando Norris 14, Oscar 1. I mean, he is getting his clock cleaned right now by his teammate, and might all be because of that stupid, disgusting burger with carrot
I have
on it.
the sweetest twist possible in this story. Oscar can play villain. His team can meddle by delivering a bulk order of these nasty patties to Lando Norris' side of the garage. And sitting there and hoping that they all... You know how like you get some food that you don't want to eat? Your grandma or somebody makes some food and you're like, oh, that looks terrible. But, oh, yeah, it's really good. Thank you so much. Uh-huh.
If Oscar reverses this,
Yeah.
if Oscar reverses this, that's what he should do. If he reverses this and wins the championship, he should just send a bunch of these burgers to like Zach Brown's house in California, Lando's apartment in Monaco. Exactly. Or just like walk around the garage eating one day. Or it's like that Disney World commercial. You just won the World Drivers' Championship. What are you going to do next? I'm going to go get a disgusting burger with carrot on it.
I'm getting the OP81 burger.
What every growing Australian needs.
What's
All right.
up, Doc?
Thankfully, there are no burgers in Vegas with carrot on it. At least I hope not. So they at least have some better food. We saw some drivers at the Raiders game on Monday Night Football. I sent you guys the picture. They had Carlos Sainz sitting in Mark Davis's suite. Okay, Mark Davis was talking to Carlos Santana's wife. And I guess, does she do like the drums for the Monday night game? Okay, that's what I thought.
No, she played drums for him when he would do stuff.
Okay.
Like the national anthem of the NBA Finals.
But I was just talking about Monday Night Football. And they super her, and they completely cover Carlos Sainz's beautiful head. And I'm like, the disrespect they just showed to Carlos Sainz for this, to put down this lower third on Monday Night Football. He's sitting right there, and you're like, no, forget about the dreamy Spanish guy. Let's focus on Mark Davis.
And then they had Joe Buck like reading an F1 promo. He's like, Las Vegas, setting up for the Formula One Grand Prix coming here. Lando Norris has a lead, and you could just tell he's like not familiar with it at all. And I'm like, yeah, at the same time, you just completely ignored one of the drivers in the Raiders owner's suite. That's cool.
Lando Norris was there too, rocking some Raiders gear. So
unfortunate. Oh my god! I just figured it out. That's the curse. That's the Lando curse that we're all gonna blame. When he collapses Max wins the title, it's going to be the Raider game curse.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
That might be true, Nick.
Yes.
Yes. We're on to something here, baby.
Yes.
Oh, man.
When did you know it was all about to fall apart? When Lando stood on the sideline at Allegiant Stadium, Sean, in all Raider gear.
Nick, that was where we first met, was that stadium. What does that mean for us? Is our
well, it was the
friendship
Super Bowl,
curse?
so the Raiders weren't involved, so we were clear of the curse.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Funny aside, when I tried to go to Vegas a couple of years ago, you know what airline I could not get to fly out there, like at all?
Allegiant.
Yeah, Allegiant. Like, they don't fly to Vegas. Like, at all.
That's how I fly to Vegas when I used to go to America.
Well, damn, there goes my theory, because I was just going to say they spent all their money. Their whole Vegas budget is on the name.
Yeah, back when I used to go to Vegas like 4 times a year because we could just cross the border and fly right out of Montana and go there for like $300, flights, hotels, all in. So, but not anymore. Now we're not going to America.
Big Vegas girly.
I was when I turned 21. I was there all the time because it was like, oh, we can go to Calgary for a weekend, or we can go to Las Vegas and then spend less money when we get there.
I think it's smarter, not harder.
That's
Speaking of Vegas, let's do some podium predictions for the Spider Pig Grand Prix of Las Vegas. No?
That's all I could see every single time I said. Most of the tracks I feel like I can recognize, but if there is one, there is not a shadow of a doubt. It's Spider Pig. I know exactly which one that one is.
If you don't know, the track at Las Vegas, which is a street circuit, is just the shape of Spider Pig from Simpsons, the movie.
Does whatever a Spider Pig does. I have Max winning this one.
All right.
As I'm sure everybody could have predicted, because I'm weirdly on this Max train that I still have a bit of discomfort about. But I Max P1. I feel like this is a track, because it's cold and it's at night and it can kind of move and change. I feel like Max is really good with evolving tracks like that. And he's just on such a heater lately. And he will keep it interesting. Then I'm going to go P2. Oscar is back on the podium. And Lando.
All right. Nick?
Max P1.
Hell yeah.
Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen. All right, Max P1. Lando P2. Oscar Piastri, not on P3. But
the curse of the burger strikes again.
George Russell P3.
I like that one.
Logan in the chat said, can we get Sean to try this the next time Oscar finishes a race? And that is really what matters more to me than a podium prediction.
Big same.
And that's why I seem so distracted.
So
because I'm just envisioning Sean eating the nasty patty.
I don't think there are any grilled locations in the States.
We can get it shipped.
I was going to say it would be a nasty patty by the time it gets to Tampa, Florida from wherever in Australia. I could try and make the burger.
No, you don't have the charcoal bun. You don't have the orange sesame seeds.
You can source the charcoal bun.
You can source orange sesame seeds.
Here, I'll make you guys a deal. If Oscar Piastri wins the World Drivers' Championship, I will make an OP81 burger. I will order charcoal buns. I will get...
Oh, please make a TikTok out of this. Hey, everyone, I'm Sean. Coming to my kitchen here to make the OP81 burger.
100%. I'm sure I can order charcoal hamburger buns. I will order charcoal hamburger buns. I'll make the burger. I'll put carrot on it and whatnot. And I need to know what the Oscar Piastri supercharged chipotle mayo is, though. I mean, I'm assuming it's just chipotle mayo.
How to make super soft charcoal burger buns.
That's one of my first.
I'm not going to make them.
Black burger buns. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they sell them on Amazon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of course, I figured I could get them. Well, I'll make that deal. If Oscar wins the Drivers' Championship, I'll make the OP81 burger and eat it on the pod.
Great. I love that for us.
Nobody asked for this. I'm just offering. My podium predictions for the Las Vegas Grand Prix.
Did, but okay.
I'm gonna go Max Verstappen P1, so it's a clean sweep from us. I will go George Russell P2, and I will do Lando Norris P3. Katie had a good point when it came to it. It's at night. It's 10 o'clock local time in Vegas. It's cooler in the desert. It is basically winter in the U.S. right now. So, yeah.
Lando likes to party.
I was thinking about that, too. Lando does like to party. You'd hope at this point in the season with so much on the line he's not doing that, but at the same time, you never know. And also, what I was really saying is, McLaren is great when their tires heat up, not so much when their tires cool down. And also last year, I mean, you can just look, they finished 6th and 7th last year. So I don't know if that car really liked. Yeah, I don't know if McLaren, but this car is better than last year's, obviously. So I'll go Lando P3. So Max, George, Lando.
I want to give some credit to Red Bull real quick. Shocker, I know. But like that, the balance of the car was completely out of whack on Saturday, and yet they still found a way to dial it in enough for Max to end up on the podium out of the pit lane. Like, that's remarkable. Mm-hmm. Like, I know we've talked about this already, but I just want to be like, no Adrian Newey, you've had a weird season technically, but hell of a turnaround from Saturday to Sunday, so kudos to you.
And the Alex Jakes call from pit lane to podium, man, this guy just simply cannot stop meeting the moment. He keeps going higher in my power, in my, what play-by-play rankings. I'm like, power play, get there. There's the word play-by-play.
I'm really glad we watched the gears turn. Yeah, they were fun.
The lights were flickering there for a second. I think I saw
inside
some
the
smoke
mind
coming out of
lights
the
are flickering, but there's nobody home.
Anything else to get to, guys?
No.
All right, this has been episode 87 of the Gridiron Podcast, the Sidney Crosby episode of the Gridiron Podcast. Not the Travis Kelce episode. Not the Rob Gronkowski episode. Not the Ed McCaffrey episode. The Sidney Crosby episode of the Gridiron Podcast.
Katie, would you like to say something?
No. We were laughing.
No, Michael, no.
No, Michael, no. We were making each other laugh so hard before the pod, and now I feel like I've been crying just the entire podcast. You guys just are too funny.
I've never seen you dab your eyes as much, and I take that as a compliment. Sean, where can they find us on social media?
They can find us on Instagram at GridironPod. Again, that's on Insta at GridironPod. You can also email us at thegridironpodcast3. That's the Gridiron Podcast number 3 at gmail.com.
Damn those other two.
And let's not forget the talk, because Katie, who runs the talk, tends to forget what the talk's name is.
I put it in the rundown, so in case you guys ever come to me with that question, I'm prepared, but then I don't have the rundown open right now, so I'm still unprepared.
Here's the answer. At the.gridiron.podcast.
Would you look at that?
the.gridiron.podcast. So check it out.
Follow us there. And,
Also,
Katie
rate
does some
and
great stuff on
review,
our social
all
media.
those things.
Yeah.
Really helps the show.
Yeah, rate and review, tell your friends. YouTube.com /@gridironpod as well. We're everywhere.
We're everywhere.
We're taking over the world. 1 week, one race,
one
NFL
patty
game
at a time.
For Katie Caldwell and Nick Shook, I'm Sean Barie. As always, live life in the fast lane.
Good night, Canada.
Good
and
night,
Australia. Synergy.